Hello! It is an episode of Mistresses of Mayhem.
All right, we're Russian.
Yeah.
I could do that.
We've been
Yes, I could also do entire podcast in Russian.
Let us be Russian this podcast, yes.
Yes.
Babushka Randy is here to guide you through the latest news.
Oh, Babushka Randy.
Babushka Randy.
So beautiful.
I like starting off with a racist joke.
That was not great. It was not great.
If nobody else, I am always here for some casual racism.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, since before anyone else unsubscribes, we lost one. You guys, we lost one subscriber.
The wound is too fresh, Randy. You can't.
I'm sorry. This is episode whatever of Mistresses of Mayhem. We're here to talk about. I used to. There used to be numbers, and then somewhere between getting an announcement every other week, a couple years, like last year, I just abandoned it. I forgot what we were on, and I've never done it since.
Oh, cool. This is probably like 10, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. It's so sporadic.
I could count them real fast if you want.
We're a terrible podcast.
We're a garbage fire, but somehow people are still here.
Just very inconsistent. We should probably introduce our trash selves, though.
Sure. I'm Randy. You may know me as Lady Luck on Twitter. I don't know why I'm still doing that, because everybody knows my name now.
Guys, wait. I counted it. It's number 13.
Oh, on the 13th of August!
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
We're unlucky today.
Yes.
It's also my parents' anniversary, you guys.
Oh, that's sweet. Tell them happy Halloween.
Of course. I tell everyone happy Halloween.
I'm so thankful that they were able to stay together despite of you.
Oh, that is harsh.
No, it's hilarious.
I'm sorry. That is so mean. I feel bad. These are just the things I would say about myself. So...
Girl, I get roasted all the time, every day. It's fine.
Okay, good, because I'm a great chef, but I can only do one thing, and it's roast.
We're here to talk about. Oh, you guys need to introduce yourselves before I just.
Yeah. My name is.
Hi.
Oh.
You go first.
Oh no, you go first.
No, you go first.
Melody, go.
Okay. My name is Melody, or Mel's, I guess otherwise known as Mel's Diane on the majority of social media that I'm willing to share. And I'm here, and I'm awake.
That's impressive.
I know. It's better than being in the Wendy's drive-thru.
My name's Connie. I live inside of I live inside the internet. I don't have a face or body, but I will creep on you on your Facebook in the night. So
Connie,
we are not joined, but two of our dear co-hosts, Darcy and Shelby, are both
dead.
Absent
they
from this
died.
Episode.
They're gone.
We killed them.
Oh my God, that's really impressive.
This is the third time we've made that joke, I think.
Either of them, I only talked to them.
Fair enough. They will not be joining us, but we love them and miss them.
Which means that usually Darcy runs the Twitter while we're talking and tweets the things we're saying. I will be doing that tonight. So
sweet! I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, no, I got that Twitter hookup on my phone.
Yes.
I didn't even think about our biggest source of exposure.
Darcy is our most excellent scribe, and I think not that we take her for granted because we all love the tweets, but I don't know how she's able to do it and talk at the same time.
I don't either.
And I also never know what her criteria is for choosing what she quotes, but I always think it's impeccable.
She gets the best
but
stuff.
Anyways, a little explanation of where everybody is. I know Shelby is out on a early evening vampire hunt in downtown Orlando. Hopefully she comes back with lots of fresh heads. And Darcy is at Guardians Awesome Mix Live. I'm sorry. I love you so much, Darcy. No. She's not just there. She's in the show now. That's her new career. She's Star-Lord.
Oh my God. She's Star-Lord.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think everyone's always underestimated how short and how buff Darcy is. She's so ripped.
She's a dead
reminds me so much of Star-Lord. I have no idea where this bit is going.
I don't either.
I started somewhere, and now Darcy, you're so small.
Darcy, We love and miss you. And I hopefully she'll be back for the next episode, whenever that may be, because like we have so much to talk about, you guys.
I mean, we should probably try to do an episode leading up to our meetup, our event. I don't know what we're calling it, but the 14th.
Our reign of terror.
Sure,
yeah,
that's a good one. We should probably do something leading up to you coming to Florida, and then we'll definitely do a wrap up where we can all talk about everything, either mid run or post run.
Yeah, and
that's crazy to think about. The next time we will be talking about HHN, we will have been to HHN at least.
Will we though? I mean, I was still gonna do episodes.
You won't have. Wait, what? Well, oh, that's true. There is more stuff to be announced. I forgot.
It's so stuffed this year. We already feel like we have everything. Like, everything on top of this is just like, oh my God, you know?
I'm overwhelmed.
It is overwhelming. I'm sitting here trying to be like, what do I want to see the most? And I cannot tell you.
Ready. I'm so ready.
I just want to see the date be September 13th.
That's it.
Whatever date it opens.
Exactly.
September 12th is employee preview. I'll take that.
It is exactly 1 month away.
Oh!
Okay, so we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Most of it official, some of it not. And some of it not even HHN, so who knew? So let's get in there, because we do want to we don't want to waste your time like we do all the time. So
get right into the news.
Correct. So we have not met up for a discussion since the announcement of Carnival Graveyard Rust in Pieces. That's gonna be this whole episode, is just tears.
He's crying.
It's like beautiful, wistful crying on the front of the Titanic.
Right. It's like the coolest.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It looked real good.
It looked real good.
Well, we already have somewhat pictures of the facade, which is wild.
Yeah, let's go to the lobby, bitches.
Okay, that was a lot of cinema. That was like today.
Oh, you're right. I'm gonna go back out now. Excuse me, I have to jump off a cliff.
No, don't do that.
Bye. Oh.
Oh God! You were kidding.
We took very different approaches to that, Randy.
It'd be like
there's two types of people: those who want Connie to live, and those who want Connie to die.
I mean, she's not wrong, I guess.
Exactly.
Okay.
Anyways,
we gotta get this on track. Carnival Graveyard.
There's so much stuff out for Carnival Graveyard. They are clearly like hawking this one to the fans really hard, because it was one of the only things that we got like concrete, bright imagery from at Midsummer Scream. Although they did show a few shots from Trick or Treat. Those were also amazing. But I keep forgetting that Trick or Treat is even happening because I'm so overwhelmed with joy at everything else.
Same, and that's one of my favorite Halloween movies. So it's like,
same. No offense to Trick or Treat, because I'm like super hype. But it's just like there's so many other things. You know that gif of Oprah where she's like freaking out?
Yeah.
That's me. That's me trying to deal with everything coming to Horror Nights this year. I am Oprah.
So free tickets? JK.
Listen, okay. I could be more like, you get touched by a character and you get touched by a character.
That's appropriate.
I can do that. But oh my God, the art from Midsummer Scream, crying. The Love Shack is my cover photo on Facebook.
Yes.
There.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's some notes that I wrote down. But
oh my God, yes.
So
organized. We love an organized queen.
I try real hard.
Ugh.
Okay, so this is gonna be like neon aesthetic facade already coming up. It's all these like rusty like pieces of different carnivals. I love the idea that this is just where everything was literally sent to die.
I want it really badly.
It's not set in a carnival. It's in the junkyard where the carnival ended up.
It's like, literally the Carnival Graveyard. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see elephant bones?
Ooh.
Oh gosh.
That's
like timely, because that's what shut down Ringling Brothers. The elephants.
That's more circusy though than it is.
That is circus.
Maybe.
Because
yes. Like a lot of back when I first started hearing rumors of some kind of like carnival graveyard, that was just like the words that were on the old lists floating around. I immediately jumped to like ideas of a freak show, but the more I see about this house, the more I'm leaning away from that. And it sounds like they're going to be much more nuanced carnies than freak show stereotypes.
Yeah, it doesn't. I feel like there could be like maybe a room of freak showery.
Maybe.
But like, it's not going to be the whole thing. No.
Do you think this is going to be the Greatest Showman IP?
Listen, okay, you shut up. Please.
Never.
Because that has... I will not specify on air where this conversation is taking place, but within the confines of certain cast pages of HHN, the Greatest Showman nonsense is already unstoppable, and I want it to stop. I'm already sick of it. It stops being funny the moment I brought it up to say it wasn't gonna be funny.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna make jokes all season. It's gonna be great.
I don't like that movie.
It's got great music. I like Hugh Jackman. I love Hugh Jackman.
The musical theater person in me has a lot of problems with that movie.
The person who likes quality art has problems with that movie and me.
I mean, sure.
Anyways,
that too.
Sorry.
Okay,
I don't roast everything you guys love.
No, did I say I loved it? Because I don't.
Well, no, I'm Connie. I don't want to hurt you,
Connie. I literally just like Hugh Jackman.
Oh well, that's acceptable.
We will unite over Hugh Jackman.
Anything with Hugh Jackman in it. I'll take Oklahoma. I'll take Wolverine. I like that one magazine cover where he has his sleeves rolled up.
Where he's on a sweater.
He's wearing it's like a turquoise cardigan. It's very nice.
Oh, that's the one, yeah.
Yeah, he's fancy.
That's the one I dream about.
Iggy Azalea. So fancy.
Okay. So that's one Australian I don't want to talk about. So the next thing I have on my list is just dogs, ? Because in the trailer, there's dogs. And then somewhere in a tweet, it was mentioned there were dogs. And I was like,
And in the recent Walker Nation podcast, I think that's Walker Nation, Walker Stalker, I can't remember, whatever. That Dave Solo guy with whom, not to brag, but I filmed a promo video for HHN 27 with. He was very nice, and he was the only person we were allowed to talk to. Anyways, they did a podcast with the whole creative team, and they talked about the dogs again. They said there's going to be killer guard dogs. I don't know what this means.
More puppets.
I disagree with that for personal reasons.
Real dogs.
Yes, that I'm more on board with. No,
How?
Really, but no, it's not going to be real dogs. I think it's like an animatronic. I don't think it's going to be anything puppeteered because
there's already so much. There's already so many puppets this year.
Exactly. That's a huge part of it because I mean, we know for a fact that there's puppets in Trick or Treat because they talked about that at Midsummer as well.
Right.
I'm pretty sure in the blog post for Poltergeist, they said the word puppet at one point.
Seeds of Extinction is going to have to be some.
Probably, or at least something puppeteered from within a costume. I don't know. Either way, there's and Chucky, and there's just a ton of this shit going on.
So we've been over this. Chucky's real.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
my bad.
Right. So lots of questions about those dogs. I'm very curious as to how that goes.
Live Pomeranians held
just the tiniest, cutest little things.
Yes, held in like little like glass cases, like they do at the adoption center. And they're on like 30-minute shifts. You know, just like stunt scare actors because they're valued and they get paid a little bit more. Actually, you know what? What am I even talking about? Animal Actors is right across the way. Bring on the pugs.
Pugs.
It's confirmed. I'm confirming it right now, guys. We're gonna have real dogs in this house, and they're gonna be from Animal Actors.
You heard it here first.
I definitely know. I know these things. It's gonna be Frank the Pug right there.
Frank the Pug.
So
in his suit. It's real guard dogs. They're like Secret Service men.
Oh my god. They're like bouncers.
Oh yes, bouncer
dog. The dogs and Sam will now escort you to the drunk tank.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I would want to get kicked out of HHN if that's what happened.
That's true. Okay, so the next thing I wrote down was the puns for this house are beyond incredible. They have been having, except for maybe our next subject of discussion, the puns for this house have been like amazing.
Yeah, I mean, just the name, Rust in Pieces.
I know, that's great.
It's a double pun all at once.
I love it.
It's great. Love.
So that was like, so we're definitely getting a tunnel of love, like a love shack scene.
Love shack is a little old place where graveyards get together.
Yes.
Dang, that put our viewers up by 2.
They tuned in just for the original tunes from Connie.
Yeah. But I think I read somewhere, I'm not sure if this is factual, I read somewhere that the Love Shack was going to be like the finale.
Yes, I think they said that at Midsummer. That was definitely a thing that I also am aware that someone said.
Do you remember what all was at Midsummer? Because I didn't write it down.
Who all?
It hadn't happened yet when I wrote this.
What do you mean, like who was on the panel?
Well, no, like what they said about like Carnival Graveyard.
Oh yes, I do remember. They showed the facade. They mentioned that. Okay, I'm also probably going to mix up some of the things from that Dave Solo podcast, but I'm just going to do that anyways. They've mentioned in one or the other or both that it's going to be a very vertical house. They said in many houses we encourage people to look around, and this one we encourage everyone to look up. There's going to be a lot going on above your head, which I'm very excited about. I like the sound of that. There was that one teaser image posted of the crazy cars, I believe it was, which is like a bumper car sign. That was shared right after Midsummer. What else was said at Midsummer about this one? They mentioned, I can't remember. I have all this information. I just can't remember where it came from, whether it was Twitter or Midsummer or whatever. All the characters will be named and have backstories.
Charles Gray for sure tweeted that because I lost my mind when he did, because that is so incredible and wonderful.
Same. And they talked about even more in the Dave Solo podcast. The group is called, what was it? Ernest Lee and the Ragtags. So that's
the code name that was on there.
I know, even better.
Cute.
But that's the name of like the Carnies. That's what they call themselves. I think it was Ernest Lee. I could be wrong. That last name, I know it's Ernest something. Anyways, that's cool. And that Carnival Graveyard has 2 original songs.
Ooh.
And that Charles Gray sings in them.
Yes. Magic.
Yeah. Ooh, who wants a real fun fact? Everybody who here remembers That's My Gold.
I love my gold. Give me that gold. I need it.
That was Charles Gray's voice.
No.
Yes.
Famous.
Yes. He used to do entertainment, and apparently I didn't know this until 2016 when I met him, but he does a ton of the voice acting throughout the event.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So love that. Makes me happy. I'm sure a lot of the other ones do too. I just don't know about it because I haven't interacted with them as directly. But yeah, so there's also an original theme song for whatever the Chainsaw Horde is this year, and Charles also did voice work for that.
Ooh,
so
that's exciting.
What great tea this is.
I know, right? This podcast was so good. Oh, I know we're not on to Poltergeist yet, but they talked about Poltergeist as well. They talked about everything that had been announced, but they talked the most about Carnival, and that's something I've noticed across all the social medias and everything. It just they seem to be putting a whole lot of eggs in that basket.
Yeah. Well, and it's so interesting because like everything has just had such a wealth of information dropped about it pretty much. Like we had the Dead Exposure backstory that was tweeted out.
Yes.
And all of this stuff, like for a lot of the creative content, they've really just given so much, when in other years you really had to go find it.
Yeah, it's been good so far. The only thing I wish is that it was all as condensed as the Dead Exposure stuff was. I love that postcard shit, and I know that wasn't so much like fun behind the scenes stuff. But
but it was cool.
I wish. Oh yeah, in a dream world though, we would get something like those postcards for each of the originals.
That would be very cool.
It doesn't even have to be that detailed, even just a little bit. Like I wish that this like backstory stuff that I'm explaining from the podcast had been explained in some kind of like
official way.
Yeah.
Like for example, if they like pre-HHN, if they opened a tiny little carnival, like back when before it was a graveyard, like a real carnival, and then we got to learn about the real carnival before HHN started.
Yes.
And then,
ooh, that'd be cool. Like you get to see it in its heyday before you see the decay.
Yes, see it in its heyday before its decay.
That was pretty good, right?
Yeah, that was amazing.
I like that.
We're collaborative songwriters here.
I could be the hype man. I'm the one who's like, yeah, woo!
They also mentioned that they'll be using old equipment as torture devices on trespassers.
Oh, kill them. Violate the trespassers.
Trespassers will be violated. Which just sounds real wonderful.
Please violate me, Daddy.
Please violate me, Daddy.
That's gonna be
the real question on everybody's minds is who's gonna be the daddy this year.
Oh man, I've been thinking so much about this.
Oh no!
And I mean, we already have confirmation that Seas of Extinction will bring us Plant Poppy this year. The infamous Purge Poppy is now Plant Poppy.
That's exciting.
I'm very excited. I'm not going to say I gave him that name, but I sure helped. Who else could be a daddy? Obviously, every clown in Killer Clowns, because they're
amazing.
They're big clowns. They're all daddies, except for the ones played by women, which are moms.
Mommies?
Hardworking moms just trying to put some bread on the table.
Yes, by making cotton candy soup out of guests.
Cotton candy soup sounds absolutely despicable, and I'm angry now.
It's gonna be okay, Connie. Just stop thinking about it.
Soup should be savory.
What do you call like strawberry syrup then that you put on ice cream?
Syrup. You said the word.
Shut up. It's a soup.
That's like
I hate that.
I love that chocolate juice you put on top of your ice cream.
Oh God, stop.
One, never. How dare you?
This is a real tangent. My little sister was watching slime videos the other day, but they were like crunchy slime videos, and I was
crunchy ones.
I was crying. I could not do it. I was like, you have to stop. I don't care for that.
Oh, I love the crunchy slime. I used to make a lot of slime and oobleck when I was a kid, so it's very like nostalgic.
I mean, I made it. I didn't make it crunch though.
Listen, if you've never gone up at 2 a.m. and made a batch of slime and then put a bunch of alphabet beads in it just to feel the crunch, then what are you even doing with your life?
I don't know. I've never done that.
She's just young, Melody. She's just young.
She'll get there. Anyways, back to Carnival Graveyard. Carnival Graveyard will be the crunchy slime of 1828.
Watch there be like a crunch scare.
What is that? Actually, that would make sense if they're like crunching someone inside of like a scrambler ride.
Oh, I didn't. I was about to ask, what like carnival hallmarks do you think are going to be like the torture devices?
Hopefully, I would love to see something with a merry-go-round. I think that's very like visually like that's just a thing that should happen, even if it's just like someone impaled on the stick of a merry-go-round horse.
Oh my God, that'd be cute.
Wouldn't that be aesthetic? I would love that.
Or like a head at the top, like if a merry-go-round horse was like sticking out of the sand.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Or the dirt, and there was a head on the top of the spike. That'd be cute.
I'd be down for that.
I kind of have a feeling that whatever we end up seeing isn't necessarily going to look like carnival rides. It's just going to look like contraptions.
Right. They said they were using like the pieces.
Yeah. So I expect just to see something like stabbing someone and something smushing someone. Probably like a victim role of someone like having their legs crushed. Maybe they're going to find some way to use the spine rip table in this room this year. They didn't use the spine rip table last year, but they used it in 26.
Did they not?
No, I don't think they used it. Did they?
Yeah, and Fallen.
Oh, no, that wasn't the same.
Okay.
Because the spine rip table is where a person is laying in the table and having something taken out of them, and that wasn't the same thing.
Sure that happened in Fallen, though.
No, it was what you're thinking of was the chick. She is ripping out a spine, but it wasn't of a real person.
Oh,
it's a mannequin.
It's a different.
It was a different technique.
It was a different, so the spine rip that I'm talking about, like from Body Collectors, is like a dude laying in a table face down, with like a fake body coming up, and then they rip the spine out of that. What you're thinking of in Fallen, which actually played that role for a night, that character's name was Mutilation. It was just like a static figure of a person hunched over, and she just had the spine in her hand, and she just pretended to rip it out. There was no like second actor.
I mean, that's great though.
Yeah, but anyways, the spine rip table was also used in Tomb of the Ancients for the chick ripping the heart out of the guy because it was like a real guy that she was taken out of.
Right.
I want to see if I could see them using that same getup of like a person at the table having a thing happen to them. I guess maybe they kind of did use that. They used it in AHS for the chick with no legs, Shelley. Anyways, totally off.
Yeah, you're right.
So, but I don't think it was the same thing because it was higher up and it was shaped differently and the person was laying differently. I think it was a different thing, but the same idea. Anyways, totally off of anything that we were really talking about.
Right.
I could see them using that this year to have some kind of horrible calamity happening to someone, whether they're getting like sliced in half or something like that.
I was about to say, I feel like this could be like the surprise, like, gore house.
I hope so.
Like, I don't remember if I said it was going to be something else earlier. Like, I feel like I said, oh, this could be this.
I think Slaughter Cinema is going to get most of the gore, honestly.
Right.
At least blood splatter. But I hope there's gore in Carnival. I
could see it being more, like, explicit gore in Carnival. I could see it being more, like, cheese, like, you know, silly in Slaughterhouse. Slaughter Cinema. Yeah. I keep wanting to say Slaughterhouse Cinema.
Cinema House, right?
Well, because I'm used to saying Art House Cinema.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know what you mean. Or even like Grindhouse or something.
Yeah. It sounds like it should be like a house, but it is a house. Ah!
Oh, what? Is it Slaughter? But it is Slaughter Cinema House? Slaughter?
I keep writing Slaughterhouse, like where you send the cows.
But isn't the word house in there somewhere?
I keep thinking it is, but it's not. It's just Slaughter Cinema.
It's just Slaughter Cinema.
I've gotten it wrong like 70 billion times.
Could it be Slaughter Cinnabon?
Yes.
Ooh, yes.
Hope it smells good. Okay, so any other things about Carnival Graveyard?
Looks good. What now?
Will they be giving us free tetanus shots at the beginning?
That would be a good idea.
Good idea. Nope, just that I'm really hyped that the facade is made out of old neon signs because that's my fetish.
Right. That's going to be super fun, especially at night.
And I think all the neon is where we're going to get any of the 80s vibe that we're going to get from this house.
That's true.
All the neon signs. So we'll see. Oh, I've had a few people ask me, or I've seen this floating around, what if they used old pieces from Dueling Dragons as like set pieces in this house?
That'd be cool.
I don't know about that, but I'm intrigued by the idea.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a cool idea. I just don't know if that's practical.
Yeah, I was about to say that feels
dangerous,
somewhat illegal and dangerous.
So we'll see, though. It's a cool idea.
Yeah, that's a neat thing.
Yes, so we have so many more things to talk about.
Right, I'm trying to keep us chugging, but we got to talk about crunchy slime.
It's important. It is very important. How dare you?
Listen, off topic is on brand for us.
Off topic is on brand. That should be like my t-shirt.
I think we might be sad. We don't have a single chat happening right now.
I noticed that. Oh well. No one loves us. It's fine.
It's a Monday.
It is a Monday. Well, we are usually we're also usually broadcasting on Mondays. Like that's normal for us.
Whatever. I don't know. Maybe people are just tired.
Yeah.
I don't. I know a lot of our school age friends are probably doing homework. So.
Oh, gross.
Oh God.
Yeah, what is that even like?
When does school even start for things?
Now.
Shit.
High schoolers are in high school.
Ugh.
So let's get on to Seeds of Extinction.
Yes.
All of my notes have question marks.
Relatable.
So my first one was, what even is this?
Yes.
It's a gritty, dark reboot of Little Shop of Horrors.
This is, I think people who really wanted the thing this year might be somewhat pleased that we're getting this. Because it feels like it's going to be like the body horror, if that makes any sense.
I could see that, yeah.
I could see it being like...
I don't think we're going to see any human characters in it, I know that.
I don't think we're going to...
I would kind of explain this to my mother, though, because she's very excited about it. I know I keep talking about my mom on this podcast, but I like her.
No, it's totally great.
Thank you.
A great source for HHN opinions.
She is, because she was so excited. She's like, it's gonna look amazing. It's gonna be like, there's gonna be vines everywhere. It's gonna be really creepy. And I was like, cool. But have you thought about the fact that there will be characters in there somewhere, hopefully, and they will be plants? And she was like, but it's gonna look like apocalyptic and cool. I'm like, awesome. Have you considered that there will be moving people in the house. In the plants. They will either be plants, they will be ground, maybe.
I just thought of like a giant like plant that ate somebody and the person's trying to get out of the plant.
That's
good.
That's
visual.
very cool. Yes.
More gross kink. Sorry.
I love it. Yeah, I feel that. I think so. There was that one image in the blog post of like a woman working in the shop making what looks like. Do you remember the plants in Asylum in Wonderland, the flowers, and they had like those flower glove hands that they it looked like she was making that, but like scarier and less 3D. And I think we'll probably see a lot of that, a lot of like people with plant hands and plant heads. And I hope that we see like, I don't know, some kind of human plant like Swamp Thing hybrid.
I could see some use of like the ghillie suits, like the Mana's Bush kind of stuff.
Oh yes, the weed people.
The weed people.
Old Greg.
Oh no, he's
Greg.
Greg. Old Greg and
Old Greg.
Swamp Thing's plant love child is
we have
here.
the Swamp Yeti over in Slaughter Cinema this
year. It's their baby.
It's that's so sweet.
Can you imagine?
I'm trying not to.
I don't want to think about it. Okay. So the blog post mentioned like a lot of like plants have taken over the world suddenly, viciously. They're alien plants.
Rawr.
Venus flytrap-esque kind of things for sure. Like kind of plants with teeth.
Yeah. But also like sentient vines.
Right.
And stuff like that. Like Evil Dead. I just watched that the other day, so it's fresh on my mind. As soon as that scene started, I was like, Victor, look, it's Seeds of Extinction.
Oh, no!
And he just looked at me with that, I know you're talking about something that I don't fully understand face.
Oh.
If that's not love, I don't know what is.
That is love.
Yeah, I think so. Well, he just then waits patiently for me to explain what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyways, yeah. Sentient vines, nom plants, chomp. Maybe this would be the crotch house.
I wrote down bioluminescence ? As lighting.
Oh my god, Pandora.
Get that Pandora lighting.
Pandora has gone evil.
Pandora has gone evil. And that means that the blue people, well, you know the rest.
Dude, I don't.
I really don't know where you were going with that.
No, I was thinking, are they like eating everyone now?
Guys, in-house sex tales. What are you even saying?
Oh, you're right.
Of course. They're just,
I wrote down a somewhat controversial statement in my notes as well. This is my pick for this is either going to be like super kick-ass or like real bad.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Scarecrow as well, and I have a feeling this is going to try to emulate Scarecrow based purely on premise, because the reason everyone talked about Scarecrow, scariest thing in the world. The reason for that, which nobody ever talked about, is that the entire house was the same color. It was all brown, and everybody was camouflaged because the whole house was made out of wood or burlap or hay, and that's exactly what the characters were also made out of. It was a good house. I liked it, but the reason it was scary is camouflaging. And this house has all the same merits. Everything's going to be green. Everything is going to be vegetative. And so it's super easy to hide in the scenery when your costume is the scenery.
That's true.
Like, this is... Because there's just something about, like, people, like, real people that you can, like, see or not see scaring you. And I wonder if people getting scared by plants is going to feel lame or not.
It's a very good point.
Like, does that make sense? I feel like when I was saying it, it didn't make a lot of sense, but
I agree though, because it could be one of those things. I don't know if you ever watched like an old horror movie and you're like really into it and you're like, oh, I'm so scared, and then like your mom gets home and she's like, I got pizza, and you look at the screen and you're like, oh wait, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I feel like
I think it could look really silly because it could just look like a bunch of guys in, latex suits with like a bunch of plants like glued to them. I'm not trashing on Universal costuming.
Well, that's the thing. It could go that way. I hope it doesn't.
But yeah, It could end up being really silly. But we'll see. I have high hopes because I have high hopes for everything this year.
Of course.
Overall, things look so strong that it's hard for me to imagine like this one is just gonna totally drop the ball. But I don't know. This is the original that I am the most unsure about.
This is, yeah, like I said, everything had a question mark on it. I really don't know what this is.
Yeah.
And because of that, that's the reason why I have like those small doubts. But I do have faith in the team, and everything this year has been so strong thus far that I really hope it's not true. that my prediction will not come true.
And I mean, there's always going to be weak stuff, and not everything can hit the same way as we expect it to. And nothing ever hits the exact way we're expecting to. Even if you don't look at it being good or bad, it's always different than we expect going into it.
Yes.
So I think as long as we keep an open mind and we think about how green things can be scary. I mean, have you even heard of Soylent Green? It's there. We're ready. It's in the collective subconscious. So I think it'll be good.
I have hopes.
One of the things, I can't remember again if this was a tweet or the blog post or where this was, maybe in the podcast, I heard that some of the only light source in this house will be the moon, because all, electricity is basically gone, and this is all happening at night, which sounds kind of cool. And I like the idea of like everything is green but the lighting is very blue. I think that'd be pretty.
Ooh, that could be fun. Yeah,
I think that could be really interesting. And also what was the other thing I was gonna say?
I'm actually really interested in that because I feel like, sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
As someone who studies like theater, I'm always paying attention to like lighting and stuff.
Yes,
and haunted house lighting is often so busy.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of strobes and everything. So if this one is straight up just like stationary lights the whole time, imagine how like scary it will be when you get scared.
I agree. That was actually something I did like about Scarecrow. It was very light on the strobe, but it was very heavy. Like the lighting was almost as monochromatic as everything else. And I think it worked out well because you felt like you could see everything, and then suddenly things were changing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it'll be something to not be just like disoriented by a strobe before a scare or something, like.
And that's
interesting.
That actually leads in talking about Scarecrow. One of the other things that I think made Scarecrow so scary was the sound design. That it just had such a sound to it. Like I can't.
Right. Yeah.
I'll never be able to describe it. But like Connie, you know exactly what I mean. When you were entering that house, there was like a whooshing.
Yeah.
To the whole thing, and it was like all the triggers going off in succession, basically, even though they weren't going off at the same time.
I will say that that came across so well when it was captured on video because I didn't get to experience it live. You could because I do pay attention to those things because it's what I'm studying and something I have to have in my rep. The sound design for Scarecrow was really interesting because it also felt like you were in the middle of nowhere. Like there was almost like a hush, but also like
it
noises.
was so weirdly quiet.
Yeah.
I expect a lot of these things that made Scarecrow so good to show up in.
I never even thought about the similarities until you brought it up, but I'm glad you did because it makes sense.
Yeah, I just have a feeling because I really feel. I mean, a lot of people are saying they think Dead Exposure is going to be like the scariest one this year.
I certainly thought it was going to be until this one,
and it's still.
Yeah, I disagree. I think they're setting it up that it's going to be really scary, but it's going to end up being a lot more like scenic-y. That's just my opinion.
And we love a good scenic
catacombs and stuff. So I think this one is going to be like Scarecrow. It's going to be like, surprise, bitch, I'm terrifying.
I agree. I'm down for that. But again, a lot of questions, and I'm excited to get them answered in the near future. All right. Now on to our IP announcement. And we'll talk about, I guess we can interject here. If we're going in chronological order of timeline of things that happened, there was a leak.
Yeah.
And it was real dumb.
It
was surprisingly stupid. Come on, Hilton. Leak the info. Oh, wait. If you see us in Seeds of Extinction on October 14th, please do that. Come on, grass. Come on, trees. Come on, grass. We're gonna be doing that all the way through.
That is absolutely 1000% all I will do inside that house.
Come on, alien plants.
Yes, come on, Seymour. Come on, Audrey too. Like, I just am gonna live my Laganja fantasy in there.
It's not even Laganja, it's Alaska.
There's gonna be, I mean, that is probably maybe one of my favorite things to ever come out of Drag Race.
Same.
One of the things I reference the most often.
I say that. I was, anytime I had to do any sort of hiking thing for anything, I was like, come on, grass.
Oh
my God. Come on, butterfly. Come on, Mr. B. I am young, hung, and clearly do not want to get stung.
To be stung. I do that all the time.
I'm allergic to bees, so it's great.
I've never been stung, but yeah, I quote that so often. I would quote that during HHN last year, like all the time. So, oh my god, complete side story, but like at the Renaissance Festival when I was there with Selena, she was saying like, "Come on, Castle, come on," this. She said, "Come on, peasants," and I said, "Selena, don't come on the peasants."
Oh no.
And it was like so funny that she fell down. So
okay.
Anyways,
so there was a leak, and
we don't come on the plants, we pollinate on them.
Correct.
Yes.
So there was a leak at a hotel.
Needs some flex tape.
That basically had an ad for Horror Nights, and it had Stranger Things was the focal point.
It had all the IPs.
And it had all of them?
No, it had all of them except the rumored Blumhouse.
Right. I was about to say, I remember seeing Stranger Things and Announced Things, and then it was Poltergeist, which had not yet come out. It came out like 2 days later.
It's been confirmed, everybody. Round of applause.
Yeah.
Nope.
But also, that's going to be like our segue into Poltergeist, but it also leaked Halloween 4, which I do want to take a quick sidebar on, because what the heck, you guys?
I think
Where's Halloween 3?
Yes, for Darcy, we have.
I was literally about to say, this is what I wrote down. Halloween 4 as opposed to the upcoming film. What does this mean for us? And more importantly, why did you cowards skip Season of the Witch?
Yes, honestly. I mean,
what is wrong with you?
I don't know. I'm so sad.
I had already, I didn't think we were going to get an old Halloween movie this year, so I didn't even get my hopes up. But knowing that we could have had it all anyway, what the heck?
We could have had it all.
Rolling in Mike Myers.
No, wrong, because he's not in the third one, and that's why it's so good.
Wow, tell us how you really feel about Michael Myers.
I mean, okay, listen, I don't mind the Michael Myers series. I'm relatively indifferent towards everything past the third one. I haven't seen the fourth one.
I haven't either. At least not on purpose.
It's on my homework for HHN, but just like Stranger Things, every time I bring it up when Victor and I are trying to pick something to watch, he's like, "You just don't sound excited." And I'm like, I'm not.
I'm sorry.
No, we did finally watch Stranger Things, but I don't know where I'm gonna get the spoons to watch Halloween 4.
I
know. I'm making myself I have like a to-do list, and I'm getting them all from my library. So right now I have Halloween's 2 through 5.
Oh,
and
God,
Child's Play 1 through 5.
Oh, I haven't started any of the Child's Play one.
Well, that's really vague, though. That's just going to be you know the general gist of it. There's a weird child.
Yeah.
Sometimes he uses kitchen utensils for evil.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what those Chucky movies are about.
That's exactly it. Listen,
What?
Why is it Halloween 4?
I don't know. It's like, I guess I don't. You know what? You know why? So they can sell T-shirts with Michael Myers' face on it.
Michael Myers is in the new one, though.
Yeah, but imagine how much cheaper it is to get Halloween 4 based on a new up-and-coming hot and sexy Blumhouse movie.
But we're always sucking Mr. Blum's dick.
Yeah, but I don't know. I still feel like they gotta pay for this stuff. I mean, it's not like he's
here's
my movies. There's gotta be an exchange going on here, and maybe it's just too much. I mean, they already have fucking Stranger Things.
I was about to say, maybe we broke the bank on Poltergeist and Stranger Things.
I'm thinking that maybe they used to have the new Mike Myers, the new Halloween, and then something happened. Either they ran out of cash, or someone backed out, or Jamie Lee Curtis was like, "Come on, guys, don't do this to me."
I was about to say, what if Jamie Lee Curtis was like, "I don't want to be in this"?
What if they were gonna make Jamie Lee Curtis be in the house every night, and she's like, "I don't know, guys. I think this will be below my acting abilities."
I thought you were going to say this is below my Activia standards. I thought you were going to say something about Activia. I'm really sorry.
Man, I really wish I had. Man,
we tried.
Could you imagine if we had gotten the new Halloween movie and then like you get out at the end and you know how there's always like that surprise last scare, but it's just like an Activia commercial.
It's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, she's Activia. Like, how is your bowel movements?
I'm so sorry. Oh man. Yeah, no, I have a lot of questions about number 1, skipping the new movie, number 2, not doing 3. But we're getting Halloween 4, and I'm pretty sure I've seen it, but it was probably when AMC was marathoning everything, and it's probably running together with like 5 and 6.
I've definitely never seen it. And it's like
I definitely am not consciously aware of seeing it.
I understand that Halloween 3 is the obvious black sheep of the series. But also if you look at the revival of like old movies in pop culture, first off, 5 years ago, if someone had said we were going to get Poltergeist as a house at HHN, I would have laughed because people just talk more and more about older movies as time goes on. So Season of the Witch, I don't think is any longer this like nobody's ever even heard of it Halloween movie. I'm pretty sure everyone who's aware of the Halloween franchise knows what it is and knows why it's different.
It's iconic because it's like so weird. Like it's too weird to live and too rare to die, if you will.
I find it very complimentary to Trick or Treat. So
that's fair as well. Ooh, that could have been interesting.
I know, right? I feel
like double haunted house feature.
They're visually compatible movies. They're both Halloween porn. They're all orange and green and smoky.
And have like the iconic imagery of like traditional Halloween and all that stuff.
Exactly, which I also feel like is just a very 80s thing because
it is
sort of the time that
was. Well, that's when it got like solidified in like
Halloween.
That's like the time when like jack-o'-lanterns and like a lot of the Halloween iconographies, you know, it was kind of minted in the 80s because it really just went mainstream in that time period. If you look at like the consumerism of Halloween really started happening in the 80s.
I mean, when I think of like one of the most iconic Halloween scenes in any movie, it's the E.T. stuff.
Of course.
And that's like the most visually Halloween thing I can think of. And that movie came out in 1982. So there you go. I don't know. I just Halloween 4. It's the marketability of Michael Myers. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
I guess people aren't gonna give a shit as long as he's in there. You know, like
exactly. People probably aren't even gonna realize it's not the first one.
Probably not.
Like, I don't know enough about the plot about the 4th one.
Your
haven't seen it either.
Your average guest just sees it all as the same. They don't even care.
Right. Well, I know at some point they bring in like Michael Myers' like niece, so they can tack in like a kid actress.
Yeah.
Which was like a popular thing to do to movies at the time. Was just throw in a kid.
Just throw in a kid.
Just throw one in there. Throw it into the fire like in Twilight. The best part of Twilight is when they throw that baby in the fire.
That was just like a flashback too. It wasn't even a real baby.
It really wasn't.
I only enjoy child burning when the baby is real.
What?
I only enjoy child burnings when the baby is real.
Oh gosh.
You're right.
Yeah. If it's not actual human sacrifice, how are you going to appease the gods?
You're not.
Well, you're angry.
Anyways.
Yeah, anyway. So obviously this also announced Poltergeist, which I do want to mention was announced back to back with Seeds of Extinction.
Yes, one after the other. It was a lot for me to handle emotionally.
Has that ever happened before? Can we remember anything like that?
Not a back-to-back like that. I mean, in 2016, all the scare zones and all the original houses were announced the exact same day. So
right, but back-to-back, like 24 hours.
Yeah, no, I can't think of a time when they did that. And
I meant to look it up before the show, but
I don't know if it was planned or not, or if they're just covering their ass after
the leak, yeah.
After the leak, but it's not like they've already announced Halloween 4. I mean, they're still sitting on that one, so
right. It's so wild to me that there's still a couple of houses left to go before, and that starts in literally a month.
Yeah, 3 left, and it's good. Last year we didn't get the announcement for Blumhouse until after rehearsals had started.
Dang, if we did.
That's a little too late, don't you think?
Yeah, it was really funny because one of the things they do at the first rehearsal, which is extremely boring and nobody has fun, but you do get to sit with your cast for the first time, and they go around and they like mention each house and they explain what it's going to be. And it's for basically the people who aren't like me, who don't keep up with the announcements and stuff. So for a lot of these characters, that's like the first time they're really learning what they're in and what it's going to be like. And they're going around the room and they announce everything, and then they get to Blumhouse and say, oh, they announced the Hive to us before it had been announced to the public, which Hive was announced like a few days after that rehearsal. But anyways, they get to Blumhouse and they're like, and House 8, we can't talk about what you are yet. Like, they literally, like, everyone was like, "Aw," and we're like, just suffice to say, it's gonna be scary. Like, it was so vague, and it was like, oh my god.
And it's so interesting because, like, Hive was also a house that had, like, legal trouble.
Did
it? Like, it was supposed to be Conjuring.
Oh, I thought you meant someone sued vampires or something. That's my bad.
Oh yeah, Nosferatu himself was like, "Hey, I didn't give you permission for this.
This is bullshit.
This is not an accurate representation of my home nor the people who live in it.
You are doing damage to my image." Suing you for defamation.
Getting a cease and desist letter from Nosferatu.
Just has dirt on it. Like, it's just got, like, graveyard dirt as, like, a signature.
Dripping in blood. It's, like, all written in. The ink is obviously blood.
That was the best. That was the best tangent tonight. No, Hive was pretty much supposed to be Conjuring. And Blumhouse, the Purge section was supposed to be Ouija. And those were but it's interesting that Blumhouse kind of was, like, even less realized at rehearsal time. I never thought about that.
I mean, it was obviously, the facade was already up at that point. So anyone who knew what the logo looked like knew what it was going to be.
Well, right, it was just that section.
But it wasn't officially out yet. So it was like...
Oh, yeah.
And it's like literally the production logo, so it was like no way around that one.
It was very obvious what it was going to be. I wonder if we're going to get the exact same facade if that happens this year.
Right.
It's only a rumor.
I don't know. Oh, they announced the Trick or Treat facade was going to be Creek's house,
yeah,
right?
and they had a picture of it too.
Right. I wish it was the comic, but okay.
Yeah. Oh, that would be. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
That would be very cool.
My God.
We talked about it on the past ones because they could put in the ultraviolet.
Yes.
Stamp.
Cross that shit over.
Yeah. I'm a little sad we're not getting that because I also do just love that opening sequence because it just feels really fun.
But at the same time, I think what they want to give us out of Trick or Treat is, again, that Halloween porn, that, like,
absolutely
beautiful, atmospheric. And as much as I love the comic book facades, it's not as as, like,
completely.
I think even what we're gonna get, I think Creek's house is gonna look amazing.
Oh no, I'm gonna hate it forever because the entrance isn't what I want it to be.
I hope we see, like, Sam's silhouette in the window. Like, that'd be so cool. I just want stuff like that. Ugh.
I'm just so excited about it because, like I said, that is one of my favorite Halloween time movies. So
yeah, I keep forgetting it's even happening. I'd never watched Stranger Things until about 2 weeks ago. I finally watched it, and it gave me a level of, like, appreciation for what that house is going to be. But I'd, like, almost forgotten it was even happening because I'm so, like...
I know, there's so much else going on. Yeah.
Well, and we as people usually care more about the original stuff anyway. Like, I'll forget what IPs were there in the past couple of years just because I'm more interested in the other things. But this year they're so high level. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the past few years, the IPs, I think I don't remember whether I said this on Facebook or in a tweet or what, but, like, this is a golden age of IPs for HHN because we've moved past the universal thought process of haunted houses that the only appealing characters are your Freddy, your Jason, your Michael Myers. Because look at other, like, home haunts and everywhere else around the country that uses random IPs. It's always the same things, and those same things were used, like, in 2007 and at other times in HHN. But we're getting into a time where they're finally embracing stuff like Shining and, like,
right. Like, if they would have never done, like, The Shining or even, like, maybe even Exorcist. Like,
oh God, no, never. Like, if The Exorcist never could have happened at, let's say, I don't know, HHN 13 or something. Like,
right.
It's got to build itself up first.
The atmosphere was not there for it. And so I'm excited that we're in a time where something like Poltergeist, which I view as in terms of popularity, lower tier, but in terms of quality, higher tier 80s movie.
Well, and also it's so great because it was so many people's first horror movie.
Yes. And I also think it's complimentary to Stranger Things in terms
Absolutely.
of the scary,
there's so many elements of that
level. And yeah, there's a lot in Stranger Things that visually took from it. Ow! Oh my God, Pearl! Ow! She's standing on me. Ow! There's a lot that they took.
I laughed, but I'm sorry.
But just no, it's fine. It was she looked funny while she did it. But the scariness level, I could totally see like 11-year-old Melody who saw Poltergeist for the first time also being able to watch Stranger Things.
Yes.
Actually, yeah. It's creepy. It's got a lot of intention, but it's not like over the top.
Yeah,
it's enough so that everyone can enjoy it.
Yes,
it really is a family horror movie.
It is, but that doesn't make it bad.
No, of course not.
It's great. It's a great movie.
I still think there's parts of it that are really scary. The fucking face ripping off.
Yeah.
The pool scene has me
the pool terrifying. Although
yeah.
I love that one like zombie, not undead, whatever, coming up out of the coffin, and she's got super long hair, and she like grabs her skeleton wrist, and I'm
sexy.
Always like, "Get your wig snatched, bitch!" Yeah,
that's exactly it.
I want that exact undead to be in the house.
I hope it is.
I just want to be like, "Yes, bitch, you better work."
Now, admittedly, it has been a while since I've seen Poltergeist, but I am really excited to revisit it for the event. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
It about a month and a half ago, back when it was still just a rumor, but it's also one of my favorite movies, and Victor had never seen it, so I made him watch it.
I've actually saved all of my homework for later, so like, because I just know I'm going to go crazy once the event starts, but I can't go yet.
Oh God, yes.
That's true, yeah.
I've saved it for all of that time. But yeah, any other Poltergeist notes? We transitioned into it pretty easily, so do we have any like confirmed like what's going to be in there?
Yes.
I think well, quickly before you go into that, I think it'd be really cool if they got. I know that accuracy is like a really important thing, especially for me. I know you guys. I mean, creative liberties are fine, but accuracy is fine. Better, I think. If
well,
it can be, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it'd be better if they like actually buried some people beneath the set, made an actual cursed graveyard, or their house on top of the graveyard is what I'm trying to say. So
it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know a few guys we could toss in there.
Didn't you know that Soundstage, I don't even know, 22 used to be a burial ground?
Ooh. You just moved the headstones.
They moved the headstones. Anyways, I have a little bit of confirmed stuff. Again, it was all from this podcast. Y'all should listen to this thing. There was so much info in it.
I think I should link it when we're done.
I will.
Please link it.
They mentioned that they have permission to go into the light and show what's inside the light.
Oh my God.
What if what's in the light is so terrifying that we can't even deal with it?
But it's just like someone's bald spot.
I'm gonna wager that's gonna be the finale, which is amazing because I was thinking like I want the moment of walking into the closet, with all the bright lights. Like that is so perfect for a haunted house. But I was watching the movie and I'm like, well, plot wise, I don't understand how we could go in there because there's nothing in there that we get to see. But I guess we get to see it now.
What if they just blind you?
It's just strobes. Oh. I mean, that house already is going to be really light heavy because you got the flickering from the TV. I'm assuming many times over they're going to do that. And then you've got the closet, which is equally just stroby in the movie. So, of course, it's going to be that way in the house.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited for the TV. I liked how the promo image they used was of like her leaning out from inside the TV. Do you know what I mean? Her hands are on the inside of the TV.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I liked because that is not any official like promo for the movie. That was not in any of the posters.
That's for Horror Nights, yeah.
That is just for Horror Nights. And so obviously they're going with the now popular Exorcist formula of going somewhat abstract or surrealistic with parts of it.
Right.
Which they did last year with Shining. I mean, that's obviously like what they do for these types of more tension-based horror movies. So I'm fine with that. I think that's fucking awesome.
I'm excited to see what's in the light. I didn't know that.
That got me really hyped when I heard that in the podcast. I think that's really exciting.
If the hands and the girl are on the outside and we're on the inside of the TV, or if no, she's on the inside of the TV, never mind. I was gonna say, what if we are the light?
Honestly, it could go either way.
I mean, I think there's probably going to be moments where we are supposed to, like, metaphorically be Carol Ann, you know, in the sense that, like, we will be the ones in the light or whatever. But I think they tried to do that with Exorcist and it made no sense. And so I don't think they're trying to pull that, like, you are this character anymore. I think it's just more like, hey, in this moment, like, you're her, in this moment you're this person, and you know,
right? Because Exorcist kind of got mixed reviews on that front.
In Shining, there were times when, you know, quote unquote, you were Jack because, like, Wendy was cowering away from you, or like you were Wendy because Jack was attacking you. And it's all very, you know,
right.
I mean, because to make a haunted house, they have to be attacking the guests. They can't always be attacking something else. So you just become characters as you need to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think about this kind of IP stuff a lot because it's
it's a really interesting part of how they choose to focus on and what might get, like, the best scare. Like, it is interesting to kind of see where they're coming from.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. I think Poltergeist is going to be weird but cool,
and it's also a perfect fit for this year. I can't think of an 80s IP that I would rather see.
Honestly, yeah.
That they haven't already announced.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, there's other stuff that I guess to some people, I think Nightmare on Elm Street is one of the most iconically 80s horror franchises, but I also think it is done to death.
Yeah, I think
absolutely correct.
As much as I adore Freddy, I'm fine with none of that happening this year. I like that of the slashers, we're only getting one, and everything else we're getting is much more like what I would consider, like, off the beaten path 80s. It's
for
good.
sure.
I like it. I mean, the fact that we're getting a Lost Boys scare zone, basically.
Now, speaking of that, if you're done with our Poltergeist discussion, I would like to bring up a non-HHN entity that is happening this year.
We're going to talk about Howl-O-Scream and the house they just announced. It looks great. Anyways, I'm done with that.
Great, moving on.
So, Midsummer Scream, WB came in with their studio tour out there, and they kind of dropped some bombshells. They have totally upped the ante on their haunted, I don't know what the right word for it is. It's a tour,
haunted,
but like
theme park event.
Correct. And they have it and The Conjuring and Lost Boys and a bunch of other previously rumored or used for Halloween Horror Nights IPs.
Yeah.
And so that's really cool for them. And this is kind of, it begs the question, how restricted are we going to be in terms of IPs in the future?
Well, someone asked that on Twitter, and someone responded, and I think it was someone who was at the panel where they, like, asked a question.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that WB said they were still willing to continue a good partnership with other places who want to license their movies for haunted houses.
Thank God.
Right? So I think we might still see some of this stuff. I just don't think we would ever see it the same year that they were using it at WB.
Correct. Yeah. But I know when this first happened, people were kind of in a panic.
Yeah.
They were like, this, because they have like a treasure trove.
Yeah, of horror. They really do.
Content. They have The Exorcist. They have Arkham Asylum, which is a really cool, easily one of the most, like, kind of gothic themed Batman storytelling things that's ever happened. It would be great for a Joker-centric haunted house. There are really awesome, scary moments in those games. But, yeah, people were kind of freaking out. They're like, this is like, I mean, who knows if the product will be as quality as the IPs, but it was shocking.
Yeah.
I hope it is, because, I mean, I know that they've done this in the past, right? This is not the first time they're doing this.
They've done the studio tour in the past. They've just never had these, like, heavy hitters.
Yeah, I'm really excited, because I'd never even really heard of this before now, because clearly it was not as big of a deal. But it's obvious that, like, they are throwing their hat in the ring against HHN Hollywood. That is very obviously what this is to me.
Right.
Like, I don't think they're going for Knott's. I think Knott's is going to continue to kind of be its own thing.
It's a different animal
in the California haunt scene. But I think that this WB and HHN Hollywood are almost directly competition for one another.
Yeah.
And I think the IPs at WB are way stronger, at least this year.
completely. But I mean, what else?
I don't think they have enough Z's though. Where are the Z's?
Hell's Harvest with Z's.
And the X's, not just one X. We have two. Toxic.
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 You're triggering me.
No. Which can I do a sidebar? I'm having a really hard time talking today. A while ago, Jared Gates commented on our YouTube channel. He said, "I'm literally writing an essay right now, and I'm assuming it's about something we said." But I don't know when he said that, and I'm really sorry, Jared.
Maybe he's just not chatting because he has homework. In that case, I totally understand. Good luck with your essay. Make good grades so good the luck, devil Jared. Won't get you.
You drop out of school and sell drugs.
Yeah, suck a dick and sell drugs.
Sell drugs. Perfect.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. I do have a couple notes about Hollywood. Their entire lineup got leaked, and that was on them. It was on their website. So things were marked as private.
Yes, that was what I was
hotels
about to say.
To blame.
Like, it just, the icing on that cake, it was just the private. The fact that it said
so true.
Private. Like, I can't. It is so funny.
They really, that was. Even our leaks are classier, you guys.
This year's been good for leaks. I don't know if you guys remember, but you remember when Trick or Treat was leaked a night early?
Wait, no, we also didn't hit private on that video. Never mind.
Yes, it was the same thing. They meant to upload it unlisted, and it's like there's something really validating about these like multi-billion-dollar corporations making the exact same boo-boos that we make.
No.
Yeah. Some might even say worse.
No, it's great. I mean, it's relatable. I'm like, oh my god, same Universal, same.
It's such relatable content. It's more relatable than the person running their Twitter ever will be.
Honestly, it's just like accidentally posting something that you either didn't mean to or in the wrong place. It's like when you accidentally put your nudes on your story, and it's Universal, post your nudes on your story. I dare you.
Hollywood's version of Blumhouse is getting Unfriended and Truth or Dare. I don't know how they're going to do Unfriended. That literally all takes place on a computer.
It's just gonna be like a bunch of laptops that you walk past.
I was like, the whole premise of those terrible, terrible movies is that they take place entirely on a desktop, like that one episode of Modern Family.
Yep. I can't think of anything more exciting than sitting in front of Skype.
For a haunted house.
Yes.
We're sitting in front of Skype right now. It's Google Hangouts. Sorry.
Google Hangouts?
Let's do some product placement for Google so they'll not take our videos down.
Hey, Google.
Okay, Google.
Don't talk to her.
Oh,
she will answer.
I don't have her, but sidebar, Victor does, and he'll do this thing where he goes like, okay, Google, and because it like recognizes your voice, and he has to say it the same way every time.
So he has to say, okay.
He'll see how stupid he can say it, and it'll still recognize him.
That's amazing. My brother has the same OS for that. So
it's really bad at it, by the way. It only hears him when he does it like one specific way.
It takes like 4 tries for it to get my brother, so they're for technological failings.
And then fucking Siri will pop up when I just say the word seriously. I will literally say the word seriously, and Siri
I twist my headphone cable the wrong way, and Siri comes up.
Yeah.
Or my aux cord in my car, I guess.
Leave me alone, that naggy bitch.
Hollywood is also getting the first Purge.
Wow.
Whatever. So interesting. And classic monsters, though.
That is interesting.
I do want
That's the only one I was even like, oh, man.
Bring on the Dark Universe.
Oh, jeez. Imagine if it's just, like, the scrapped Johnny Depp Invisible Man and, like, Tom Cruise the Mummy and, like, Russell Crowe is Jekyll and Hyde.
I would be so uncomfortable and I would request a refund.
I would literally ask to get let out of the house. I'd be like, take me out of here.
I have to leave.
No. I would just quote everything from Horror Makeup since they changed it to be about the new Mummy.
Well, you know, that's what's going to happen because Johnny Depp needs a new gig because he can't get any good jobs.
Did you guys read? Okay, this is like so off topic. Did you guys read the Rolling Stone expose about him?
I did not.
No, but it would probably make me angry.
It really did. There's one point where he starts singing Wonderwall.
No thanks. Bye, everybody.
And at one point, he does not know how to open the gate to let the reporter out of his house.
That's hilarious.
Also, he definitely does cocaine during the interview.
Oh my god.
Like, he goes to the bathroom and comes back more animated.
Oh god.
It was, like, not to promote other things again, and also this is a terrifying article that will make you hate Johnny Depp because he's an asshole. But, yeah, the Rolling Stone article where they talk about how in debt he is and, like, how terrible his life is. Yeah.
Wow.
Read it. It's real interesting.
He used to be like my Hollywood crush. It's so sad.
Girl, wasn't he all of
I just like to pretend it's yes. I have a pillow next to me with his face on it.
Yeah, I have so much. My dog's name is Black Pearl. Like,
look, those movies are so good. Okay,
they are so good, but it just sucks that he's like more than mildly tainted.
For real.
I just try to block it out, like, whenever, because there's so many movies that he's in that I love, and I'm just not gonna think about who you are as a person. You're too weird, and we're just gonna focus on this movie.
Like, literally, Edward Scissorhands is part of, like, my Christmas traditions, like, with my family, and, like, every time I see it now, I'm just like, Johnny Depp spent $50,000 on wine and also beat his wife, so cool.
Fear and Loathing is one of my top 20.
Anyway, let's get off this depressing note.
Let's stop.
This is so sad.
It will only get worse.
So, I don't have anything else for now in terms of leaks and announcements and stuff because we just don't give a shit about Hollywood.
I mean, it's
lots of Z's, lots of stupid stuff.
It's pretty much the same stuff they've been doing. It's quite repetitive.
It really is. Like, I can't imagine.
Yeah, especially because honestly. Especially the scare zones. They're doing another, like, holiday one.
It's literally the same one. Like, it's the same name, right?
I think so. It's just the same, like...
Well, and before that, they did Dark Christmas, which was, like, partially the same. Which is really interesting. Because if you know...
Purge, like, 3 years apart and totally different both times. And everyone's like, oh, it's exactly the same. But, like, this is exactly the same.
Yeah. Well, I was about to say, the theme park community in California is kind of different than Orlando because it's, in a weird way, it's way less tourist-driven. Like, there's, like, Disney, like, locals will just go to Disneyland. Like, it's a lot more locals than tourists.
Absolutely, yeah. It's more like a 70-30 split in terms of, like, 70 local over there. And over there, it's more like 70% tourist and not even 30% local. Probably.
I would even go 80-20 on that one.
Yeah, or even less. It's really just the sheer numbers that Disney World supports versus the number of, like, and not even just APs, because there's lots of non-local APs, but, like, locals. Like, back when I had my pass, I was going to Disney 2-3 times a week, like that type of local.
Yeah, right. Because my family used to live
just the numbers that they do.
Yeah, my family used to live there, so, like, they would talk. Like, my mom talks about how, like, going to Disney World is just such a different beast because Disneyland is a lot smaller and more manageable, but it's not as, like, tourist driven.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Yeah. It's still a theme park.
No, it absolutely does. Their whole culture about, like, going to any of this, Horror Nights or the theme parks, it's all very different.
Which makes me crazy about Hollywood because I don't understand how they would get repeat visitors because it's the same every year.
Right. That's the one thing, though, about HHN, I think, and a big part of why I'm so drawn to it, because obviously in my world, I am surrounded by the locals of Orlando and the people who do go to the parks day after day after day, and, like, I am one of those people. We're just not as big in numbers as the Hollywood people are, but HHN, I do consider a locals event, even though it obviously does more numbers from tourists or even just people out of the city. I would wager that most people who go to HHN are using some kind of, like, discount code from Publix or something, like the Florida resident discount.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like most people who go to HHN are at least from this state.
Right. Well, in the past, Horror Nights has felt very homegrown. Like, it's only recently that there's been the shift towards out-of-towners.
Absolutely.
I'm speaking as one.
And even then, like, there's that unbelievably large and dedicated British fan base to HHN.
For real.
And, like, just overall, the event, but in the very literal local sense, there are a lot of people, and I know Connie can vouch for this, who go, like, every night.
I want to go every night.
I want you to go every night too, bitch. How's
someday. I know. I'll be, lots of, hey guys, people listening, catch me at either park. Literally message this Mistresses of Mayhem, Mayhem Podcast, or my personal Twitter or Con or Instagram at Connie Wayne. Nope, I got those mixed up. Backwards. Find me.
Yeah.
I'm tagged places. If you want to hang out during HHN, I will be there. I will be somewhere every night. I'll be at Hallow Scream or Halloween Horror Nights or in my basement crying alone.
You don't have a basement.
I have a new apartment. You don't know what I have.
Oh, shit, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
We don't have a basement. I
was
lied.
about to say, you live in Florida.
Before you tell people where you live, I'll get on the wrap up here.
It's 495.
Oh my god!
Halloween Horror Nights Drive.
Oh, yes.
I will plug for our absent co-hosts. Shelby just had her Kickstarter for her pins funded after having to take it down the first time. If you haven't donated, you can still buy the pins from her. Phoenix. In the near future, please do so.
Out of the ashes.
Yes.
True facts. And we also reached the stretch goal of the blood bag, which was my personal favorite of the design. So go get you some when they're ready.
Very excited. I
am too.
They look really cute. And, as always, Shelby's on a roll with her art and shit. So go check it out.
Always, she has all those things. She has those new
Haunted Mansion prints.
Yeah, those are fucking tight.
And the Poltergeist shirt, so you can show your appreciation at Horror Nights for Poltergeist.
Yes, because I don't think that Horror Nights will have their own Poltergeist shirt.
I really do doubt it.
I want that.
Yeah.
So
Darcy is around the internet at Torch the Bats, and follow her photography Instagram at Shoot the Bats. It's mostly Awesome Mix Live right now, but it is fun to see those guys.
But as tragic as it is, it will only be Awesome Mix Live for like another week.
I didn't know it was that short a run.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
It was just a summer show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll never see it then. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm not going to see it either. I know. I'm kind of. I mean, I maybe could have swung like a friend's comp pass to go see it, but Victor and I are going to try to go to Epcot during Food and Wine, so I'm trying to like save it for then.
Oh, bruh, tell me about it. I'm trying to figure out how to get into all these places.
And I'm just not as big of a fan of Guardians or Marvel in general, so.
I think Darcy's definitely, I definitely have a lot of comic book love, but it's not specifically to Marvel. It's to a lot of different things. Darcy's definitely the Marvel person of all of us.
I don't know about that. Connie, you guys, okay. Low key, nobody ever talks about it. Are we still on air?
Yeah, we are.
We should finish it.
We'll talk about the fact that Connie is absolute Marvel trash when we go on there. She is.
Okay.
It's more so than you guys realize. She just.
I keep it real. I keep a lot of my stuff low key.
I do too. So you guys don't even
believe what I'm reading right now, and it's not what you think it is. But I'm not going to say it on air.
Fanfic.
It's not. I just told you it's not what you think it is.
I guess.
Anyways, Bats, Torch the Bats. Go hang out with Darcy. That bitch likes Marvel.
She does, and HHN.
And HHN, yes.
I'll plug my stuff now, I guess. You can follow me at LuckBealLady21 on Twitter. I mostly just kind of retweet things. One of these days I'll come up with a funny thing to actually say. But I also... Oh, right. A reminder that the night to hang out with us in the park is Sunday, October 14th. We will all be there, presumably together.
We better be together.
And if you would like, we will have free little, doodles with helpful hints on, how to make a virgin sacrifice cocktail or how to date Bigfoot. With funny little illustrations that I made while I was bored, so you can have something to remember us by.
Very useful information. See, while Randy is creating wonderful mementos to give people, I'll just be there and I'll be loud.
I might say I'm gonna make something. Oh, right! I forgot to say this. I told you the meme squares. I have to talk about them.
Oh yes, talk about the meme squares.
Just a quick update. I've been going through our old quotes on our Twitter because sometimes I get sad and I need happy things.
Same.
And I've decided that I'm going to make a lot of our quotes into, I'm calling them meme squares, but I don't think...
Visual memes.
Yeah, I posted a corn one today
on
our Instagram, on our Twitter. Thank you. And I'll be posting more. Hopefully I'm gonna do one a day leading up to the event, and then more as the event comes out. If you guys have a quote or a funny thing you want me to say, put on a meme thing, or if you have one you want to submit to us. I know there's only 2 people listening right now, but if either of you 2 people want to submit something, let me know. I'm more than welcome to.
Just something stupid and Horror Nights related.
They're all pretty bad. I picked only the worst of the worst. Perfect. To make into meme squares.
They're all gonna be mine.
Actually, I went through and I realized that I didn't have enough of like Shelby and myself, so I had to like go through and pepper us in. Shelby doesn't have a lot of quotes. We need to get her to talk more.
Shelby, she's like drawing something while we're talking. Shelby stays low key.
Mm-hmm. She's there to get us the viewers. JK, we love her so much.
Oh, so rude. No. No. Shelby is wonderful. She's just more quiet, I think.
This is
at least she's not as annoying as like me
and
Connie. Yeah.
Oh geez, self-roast. What else do I have to plug?
Me. You can follow me at Mel's Diane on everything.
Follow her around town. She lives in the Orlando area.
I do live in the Orlando area. I don't know. I mean, there's there's a lot of people in the theme park world I don't really like that much, so I'm not gonna say just like hit me up and hang out, fam. Because chances are I honestly probably don't want to hang out with you, but if you seem like someone who I would want to hang out with.
So think about it.
I don't know.
If you think she'll like you, talk to her. If she doesn't talk back, it turns out she actually hated you the entire time.
Absolutely. No, I can't afford to be that picky because I'm terrible. No, I mean I love talking to people. I talk to lots of people at HHN. Feel free to hit me up on the Twitter, on the Instagram. You can check out my drag Instagram, Alexandria DeThick, even though I will not be doing any drag during Horror Nights because I will be dying.
Yeah, I mean,
or killing someone. I don't know yet. It's
why choose?
Most likely, yeah. Well, actually, what if I'm just killing myself?
Ooh, spicy content.
That's the real goal. HHN suicide.
Well, I think that note. Right. I think that's our downer note to end on.
Melody wants to die.
Thank you to everyone who tuned in, and if you're hearing this later, thank you for giving us those sweet hits on YouTube. It's how I'm not making any money, so.
Yeah, if you guys want to give us money, we don't have any way to do that, so just like throw a 50 at us in person, mail it to my house. Again, it's 4439 Halloween Horror Nights Drive.
Yeah.
28.
And we are also looking at various things to do in the off season, or just like different, like each person doing their own kind of thing on the internet, on the videos, on the whatevers. Again, if you are in town for our dated Horror Nights, feel free to come up and say hey. You will definitely get some free swag out of it. It will be really dumb swag, but it'll be cool. And yeah. I drew them all myself, so we didn't even get the artist on panel to do them.
That's okay.
They're pretty bad. I love it though. All right, well with that, I think we're gonna say goodbye. So goodbye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.